What's up, YouTube? Kedris here. This is my match reaction to Nottingham Forest 4, Ferencváros 0. Now, this was a really entertaining match for a Forest fan, maybe even a neutral, if you kind of more favor the Premier League than you do the Hungarian League, the Fish League. It was a good game overall. I thought we had a lot of good interchanging of passive play. We were very fluid in how we moved the ball around. And honestly, I'm not trying to insult Ferencváros, but they didn't really show up to play, which is kind of weird because I thought they were fighting for a top 8 spot. But was it our quality? Was it the shackles being taken off that we were able to just play football? We weren't having to worry about losing or anything like that. I don't know, but we need to see more of it. Let me tell you, we need to see more of this. Let's get into it. So this is the team that started the game. We have Nottingham Forest obviously in red, Ferencváros in right. They started with a 3 at the back. And honestly, like thinking of their players, I didn't really think of one that stood out. It kind of just felt from the start to the end like just an overall domination by Nottingham Forest. And I'm not trying to disrespect the opposition. Ferencváros was undefeated in the Europa League up until this match. But they really just didn't come to play. And I don't know why. And we seem to play with an openness and a fluidity that's been missing in our game the whole season. Like, you have to understand that Nottingham Forest are dead last in the Premier League when it comes to XG per shot. It means we're taking low quality shots and we're not taking that many shots. So for us to be as fluid as we were in this match was interesting. Could you blame the level of opposition? Being a Hungarian team, I know a lot of people like to point at teams outside the Big Five kind of being more of a feeder leagues. I don't think so. They were undefeated. They've played some really good teams. I think we just showed up and they didn't. So moving on to the player ratings. Starting from the from the back and going to the front. I want to start at the front because we scored, but starting at the back, Matt Sells didn't have much to do. Not much was expected of him. I think we had one bozo moment from Morato that kind of put him into pressure, but he handled it really well and cleared the danger. Outside of that, he didn't have much to do. They had I think 2 or 3 headers from, one of them was from a corner. Were they both from a corner? I can't remember, but it kind of hit the woodwork and didn't go in. Could the match have been different if they did? Probably, but it wasn't, and it was our day-to-day, and we showed up to play. Starting from left to right, Nico Williams, pretty mediocre performance. I didn't think he had really, he usually is at a 7 out of 10 compared to everybody else, but today he was kind of a 6 out of 10. He was there, he was a body, but he haven't really doing anything crazy. I do think the thing that I've been harping on, the issue with him being on the left, is really starting to come to fruition. I mean, if Ina came on and he was immediately more threatening, he was immediately more attacking from that left-hand side. I love Nico Williams. I just think all of his best attributes put him as a right back, not a left back with the right foot. And I think looking at Ina, the way he also plays kind of winger sometimes for Nigeria, you kind of see him. He can play that with the left back with the right foot, and I think with Ina struggling kind of a little bit defensively these last couple matches, I actually think it'd be good for him to start on the left because if you're right-footed and you start on the left as a left back, you're actually better defensively because your plant foot's your weaker foot. So that means when you have all these wingers that are trying to cut inside, you can match them by planting on your weaker foot and pushing and blocking with your right foot. Moving on to the center backs. Morato, he had that bozo moment. I think at this point we just have to accept that he's always got that in him. But outside of that, good match. Was pretty solid at the back. They had opportunities, were kind of non-existent. I think also Milinkovic contributed a little bit to that situation because he didn't really deal with the ball. He kind of just headed it to Morato. Morato kind of just didn't get enough power to get it back to Sells. But it was a good performance, and I got nothing bad to say about Marato and Marinkovic. I think they both did a great job today. Didn't have much to do. Zach Abbott, he is a center back, and he was playing right back like he owned it. I love it, man. I love seeing him play every time he plays. I don't watch much of the under 21, so I don't get to see him when he plays like actually at center back, which is his natural position. But just in this match, you can definitely see the talent there. And I think he should be loaned out to go and develop somewhere. He's only 19 years old. Man, I think his ceiling is insane. And I think he could be a piece for us later on down the timeline, maybe a 5, 6 years from now. Moving into the midfield, Ryan Yates probably had his game of the season. I mean, he absolutely owned them. I think the cross that resulted in an own goal was unfortunate for the defender. I don't know who Yates was trying to pick out, but it seemed to be kind of a thing with our team that when we cross the ball, we don't we don't pick out a target. We kind of just cross it into an area, and then we're like, why wasn't anybody on the end of it? And so I really don't blame Yates for that. I mean, we got an own goal out of it, but honestly, I think it's a problem with our team overall when it comes to that. On a side note, every time Yates got the ball at the top of the box on that right hand side, he put in really good crosses. I feel like there's something we can do there, with him. Maybe tactically where we can have him play in that kind of zone right there. Because his crossing and his threat from that area is just so good sometimes. I think where he gets lost in the sauce is when the ball is out in open play. Once we get into the final third, I don't think there's a problem with him. I just think it's out when it's the other two thirds, which is ironic, really. So I don't know. That's something I was just thinking about when I was watching him play today. But great game from him. Sangare absolutely bossed that midfield, totally dominated their midfielders. They came into this match with kind of like a two-man midfield with Kanichowski and Romeo. And honestly, I didn't notice them, bro. They were non-existent. Sangare won every ball. Milinkovic won every ball. Like they weren't getting up the pitch really that well. I think it was just an absolute domination session from Sangare. And he's a great player. And honestly, seeing him and then later seeing Dominguez and the way Dominguez has performed has made me feel a lot better about the summer with Anderson leaving. I think at this point we have to accept that it's a guarantee he's going. I honestly think that if I had to pick between Morgan Gibbs White, Anderson, and Murillo, I would keep Murillo out of all three of those. And that's no disrespect to Anderson. I just think that we have the midfield depth to kind of make up for him, especially with Sangare playing the way he's playing and Dominguez playing the way that he looks like he could be playing. And also, you can use that money to go get a good midfielder who's maybe not in the big leagues, like a Ruben Neves, who's out in Saudi right now. Moving on to the wingers, Ndoye had a great game. First two-thirds of the pitch, absolutely amazing. I think his decision-making in the final third is starting to become a real big problem. I'm starting to look at him more and more as not a winger, and he's more of like a right wing back, to be honest with you. Just the way he executes things, the way he utilizes his pace and everything like that. I watch him play, and I'm just like, the end product is not there. Like the cutting edge, attacking edge, like you see from a Callum Hudson-Odoi, is not there. And I think more and more I'm leaning towards Ndoye being more of a right wing back than being an actual attacker or like a left wing back. And I think, oh, that's unfortunate, but I watch him play and he had a great game, but just that final third, that killer instinct is just not there. So that's something we could probably explore. Maybe not. I don't know. Nicholas Dominguez, great game. The Terrier was up and down the pitch. He was affecting play. He was pressing, getting the ball back. I saw a lot of people saying that we are playing a 4-3-3, that we were playing like a three back system. Um, it played out that way because Dominguez kept dropping so deep whenever they got the ball, the little bit of possession they had. But in actuality, he was playing the 10 position, which I think is probably his best position, not because of his attacking creativity, just because of the way he presses and his energy. I think it's utilized the best in the 10. Yeah, so we played a 4-2-3-1, guys. We didn't play a 4-3-3. It's just Dominguez kept dropping so far and he kept tracking like runners and shit that it just looked like a 4-3-3. It was actually we did lay out as a 4-2-3-1. Moving on to McAtee. So good. Excellent performance. Excellent performance. He did everything we thought he would do coming from Manchester City. He was creating chances, moving the ball forward, keeping it ticking, making amazing passes. He was anything and everything that he possibly could be. I'm great. The penalty, I mean, I don't know if it was one of the ones where he was just watching the keeper and then he just shot it whichever way the keeper didn't go. But I mean, it was a mediocre penalty, but he got his goal. And the way that the players came around and celebrated with him, I think showed you a lot about his personality. I think he is a great guy. He's not snobby like people seem to be hinting at online before this. He seems to be accepted by the group, and they were all happy for him to score a goal. And I was happy to see his performance. I really do think he is a solution to the Morgan Gibbs White problem if he leaves in the summer. I think he could play the 10. Some things that he needs to work on, obviously, his strength on the ball. He cannot be falling over like he does so much. He needs to be able to hold on the ball, or we need to design the system to where he doesn't have to be the guy who kind of presses up against other people. Design a system where we can be ticky-tacky and he can just keep the ball ticking and he doesn't have to deal with the physicality of the Premier League. Outside that, like I said, excellent performance. Excellent. And I'm hoping to see more from him. Really am. I'm happy. Really happy, man. Finally, we got Igor Jesus. 2 goals. He's on fire right now. He's telling Lorenzo Luca, sit down, son. You might have come in here thinking you're going to start, but actually this 9 shirt is mine. And he's been showing it these last 2 matches against Brentford, against Ferencváros, and honestly, he looks excellent. He looks to be doing all the things that a striker should be doing. And I've said it. I've been one of them people that have said, Igor, you're not really a striker. And it's because he always keeps dropping deep. He always keeps trying to get involved in play. Like, we don't need you to do that. We need you to sit up top. We need you to hold the line, keep those center backs honest, and score some goals, baby. And that's what we got today. Absolutely brilliant performance. And both the goals were excellent. I want to see more of it, and he definitely should start on Sunday. Oh, side thing. Back to McAtee. I have been one of the people that's been saying he is shit. Because he has been shit. The performances have been shit. But I've never said that he didn't have the technical skills.
Oh, shit.
I just thought he lacked the physicality. And, in this match, he got to show those technical skills off, and I think it showed off. I just remembered it. That's why I went back to it to talk about it, because I remember I also was saying crap about Igor, and he showed me in this match. Moving on to subs. Olaina didn't have to do much. Came on, was kind of immediately more threatening than Nico Williams. I think the shout, I keep pounding the issue. Aina needs to start at left back. And I think every time he comes on the pitch, he just makes my argument stronger and stronger. And I think he did that as well in this match. Morgan Gibbs White came on at the same time to replace Sangare. I don't want to put a dampener on this match, but he didn't look good. And I think it's starting to become a trend. Like, he's not looked good for a while. Shouldn't McAtee start ahead of Gibbs White? I think it's a really big argument, and I think it's a good argument. McAtee's been lighting it up, and Gibbs White's been crap for a while now. He came on, and he just kept giving the ball away. That little tiki-taka fluidity we had before he came on just vanished as soon as he was on the pitch. I think we're starting to have real big questions about Morgan Gibbs White, especially with his salary being what it is. I think he might be a player we're gonna look to offload in the summer, and I think he might be deserving to go, to be honest with you. And I like Morgan Gibbs White. I like his tenacity, but I'm starting to doubt whether he's a good 8. Like, I've been advocating, I think he's an 8 because it takes him further away from the goal. But the way his touches are right now, the way his passes are so bad, I'm starting to think he's just not a good player right now, which sucks because he was integral to us getting promoted and staying in the Premier League. I mean, not getting promoted, but like staying in the Premier League once we were promoted. Moving on to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Someone needs to sit down and have a talk with this guy. I'm trying not to be negative, but with so much good stuff happening on the pitch, to see the change when you bring other players onto the pitch, it just really hits really hard. And I think all these players, no one played bad, but it really emphasized the difference in the play when these guys came on the pitch. These are starters for us. Morgan Gibbs White and Callum Hudson-Odoi start for Nottingham Forest, and they're both kind of just not at the races. Like Callum Hudson-Odoi, every time he gets the ball, I'm like, go, son, go. Get up the pitch. Take the man on. Go. He's just, I don't know what it is. He just dribbles so slow up the pitch, man. I'm starting to think that maybe he should be a 10. Like, maybe he doesn't have the pace to be on the wing. Like, I think he should be a 10. These are things to start thinking about. Obviously, it's not going to happen under Dyche, but I'm just saying something to think about for the summer. I'm rambling. I need to move on. All right, let's get through this rest of this really quickly. Murillo came on 78th minute, didn't really do much. He's just kind of getting minutes and legs. Little bit of disagreement with that because Murillo's been injured this season multiple times, so I prefer he didn't come on, but it is what it is. Bakwa came on. I think we can see at this point, the 84th minute, that Sean Dyche is phasing him out. If he would really wanted Bakwa to develop, he would have put him in a lot earlier, kind of around the 66th minute when Callum Hudson-Odoi went on. So I think at this point we can see that Bakwa is pretty much frozen out of this team right now. And that's it. All right, so we got through that. It was probably longer than it needed to be, but I was really excited for the match, and I had put out a video this week, so I kind of got into the Nottingham Forest, talking about them and stuff. Great match, great performance by the boys, and I think heading into this match with Crystal Palace full of confidence is a really big boost, and I think we can take advantage of a Palace team in disarray. More on that later today. But hey, remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. How did you think the match went? Was it an excellent performance, or was it just a good Premier League team besting a Hungarian team? Hey, let me know. And as you all are aware, the most important thing, come on, you Reds!